YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks Play KSP, and you are watching at the Kerbin orbital because yes, today we will be trying to convert the SSTO from 2 episodes ago into a passenger one and get it docked because we want to deploy some passengers to it. So let's get into the business. We will take our test SSTO that we have lovingly used 2 episodes ago and we will be converting it into a passenger one. So first I'm gonna add lights because the game was so dark I really needed some lights. There we go, some lights that will be illuminating the SSTO as it ascends and descends and whatnot. Then I want another light that will be illuminating the runway as we take off and land. Yes. Then I do want custom group 10 to remove the bottom air brakes because on landing those, crash and burn. So, and let's see here, instead of deploying this, I will just disconnect the rear of the craft. I don't want to be deploying satellites. I will not be using I actually might be using a smaller cargo bay, maybe. Okay, I've got a wheel missing. I gotta remember that. Right, small cargo bay. Yes. Then I need a passenger module. Yes. And a docking port, because duh, we have to be docking somewhere. Okay, docking port behind. Yes. Okay. That looks good enough. Let's put the sides wing stabilizers. And let's place, yes, battery this. RCS, good. That's good enough. I'm gonna cut the amount of the liquid fuel in the wings because that's also something that has been a little bit too much, I think. We landed with metric crap ton of Delta V, so I feel it's not really that much. So let's place another tank here. Liquid fuel and oxidizer would be handy to have, just on that additional oomph. Rapiers are set, good, and yeah, the wheel landing gear is okay. Let's just put the forward landing gear. I'm gonna move you, Sunny, a little bit ahead. And I'm gonna be placing another bunch of RCS thrusters along the body because I need to be able to maneuver with RCS, obviously. Now let's put wheel. Yes, that looks good. Shall I take the wheel slightly forward? Yes, so it takes off easier. Nice. Alright, flip it backwards and I think this looks good enough. Now, that thing being said, let's try and see. Cargo bay open, climb patron, dock, yes, under 6. Let's reset it, it's under 6. Okay, correct. Custom 1, toggle intakes, okay, 4, just controlling everything, and abort, obviously for the abort group I want the chutes to be firing if we need to, emergency land somewhere. And that usually maps to backspace, so Mark 1B, passenger, yes. So, right. Alright, let's now try and see. Hold on, I want to put another RCS thruster block over here. And I think I'm missing one at the side, so I'll put these two. Good. Yeah, looks about right. Am I happy with that? I want to put on the side as well here. It's littered with RCS thrusters. If everything fails, we can use the RCS thrusters to go. Okay. Turning the light on and kicking the afterburners, and let's check it out. I really love the design of this craft. It looks awesome and hopefully it will fly us. Picking up the landing gear. Right, so this is a slight modification of our SSTO that is going upwards, and we will see if we manage to reach the critical orbital velocity with enough delta V to actually dock. That's the plan, that's the hopes. Alright. Okay, now in the 10,000 meter region, we should be lowering the nose a little bit, around 10-15 degrees, hopefully picking up speed, which we are. Beautiful. The only thing that concerns me is the moment when we switch back to the rocket mode, if we will have enough oxidizer, because that will be determining factor how much our delta V is. We're going up to the 1100 and the aircraft starts to lose oomph. That's a little bit too slow, I think. I should be around 1400, I think, but well, never mind. We need to continue. Apoapsis, let's kick it up a notch. 38, 39, 40, 42. Come on, you piece of lumber. Oh, I'm worried about that consumption rate on the oxidizer. It's chewing like there's no tomorrow. Okay, we are officially above the Kerbin line, or we will be above the Kerbin line. Now, the question is if we will, no, we will not have. We need 627 and we have 115, so we need additional 500 meters per second, for crying out loud. Where shall I get that? I almost wish you could put the liquid fuel oxidizer into the wings. If you know how to do that, let me know. By the way, I'm trying to do a little bit on the RCS, but I don't think that we will be able to make it on the RCS fuel alone. Monopropellant. Which reminds me, I do have a little bit of that additional fuel. I don't know if that would work. That's 600 meters per second. I don't think this will give us that much, but let's give it a shot. Kicking the burn, and we still fall short. 200 and something. $350 meters per second, that's a little bit cutting it short. Nope, that's not gonna cut it. Now the real question remains, if we're talking about 340 meters per second, and looking back at this recording, I realized I'd never invoked the extra fuel. Or did I? Maybe I did. Oh, never mind. Seems like we'll be going for the landing on this. Well, let's test a little bit more on the landing side if it works. Well, guys, as you know, I do tend to post both my successes and fails. This so far is a mild fail because we have reached closer. But the boys will be, the engineers will have to review this once again. Okay, and let's do the cartwheel thingy, right? Yeah. Okay, well, it's at least well balanced enough, so I just hope that nothing breaks in the process. Well, that's not a typical re-entry maneuver, but in my Kerbal Space Program there is no thing such as typical. Oh, don't you be braking, Sonny. Don't you be braking. Come on, you piece of lumber. Jab, Dan and Enley are counting on you. Okay, we are successfully decelerating and seems like we won't be terribly destroyed after all. Fair enough. Okay, let's go and re-enable. I'm really curious now looking, this is actually a post commentary, if I have disabled or enabled the forward tank, because I don't think that it will hold a 300 meters per second delta V, but yeah. Okay, a little bit hard on the air brake though. Turning on the engine because I want to do a nice soft landing. I mean, the aircraft looks beautiful. I think what it needs is a couple more intakes so it can breathe on a little bit higher altitudes. That would be kind of a proposed correction, and maybe additional fuel tank or two. So I'm thinking if I put the tanks on the sides of the craft, right next to the big intakes, that might actually improve things. Yeah, maybe that will be a subject for the future episode. This will be a very short episode because I just want to follow through and see if we can land this thing. I mean, I see SSTOs as definitely a passenger transports up there, and maybe if in the future with some more better Delta V solutions, deploying station parts to the low Kerbin orbit. We are still quite far from the SSTAs, mainly due to the restriction between, you know, the monitor and the key and the chair, but we'll have to fix it hopefully eventually. Now, okay, oh look, what's that? Oh, I thought it was a monolith. Let's take it easy, nice and slow. Jeb, you know the drill. Come on, and touchdown! Well, it's a soft touchdown, and kicking on the brakes will eventually decelerate us to a desirable speed. At least, well, we haven't crashed terribly and destroyed everything in the process. So, yeah, a little bit on the wheel brakes, but I don't want to engage all the brakes because I will break them. There we go. Well, I'll take it as a win. Well, what can you do? Guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one, hopefully with better results.